Indiana's a really, really good basketball team. Got a chance to watch some tape and then watch them last night, and they took it to a Marquette team that was ranked, and I had said earlier I thought Indiana was one of the better teams in the country. Coach Miller has got had a chance to get in there and get some good talent, some young talent, along with a guy like Morgan. I think Morgan is kind of the leader of that group, but they're very talented. Got really good guard play. The Langford kid obviously was highly touted coming out, and it was a big get for them. But when you look at their team, they have a transfer in there, a big kid that transferred in there. I think from Mount St. Mary's. I think he shot made 4 threes last night. So it's a team that has versatile parts. So it's sets up for a great game here at Bud Walton Arena. Our fans get a chance to witness a Big Ten team coming in, and I'm sure it's something our guys are looking forward to.
Mike, Romeo Langford, I know he was maybe the top recruit in the country. What have you seen from him, and just what did Indiana do to beat Marquette that decisively?
Well, they shot the ball well. I thought they defended well. I mean, they've been averaging. I think they're averaging 93 points and giving up only 54 points. So when you look at their defense, I think their defense just comes in and it took Marquette out of anything they wanted to do. They rebound the basketball well. They share the basketball. They got balance in scoring. They got the guards rebound. Again, they keep the floor spreaded, so they got some guys that can attack. And I think when I looked at Langford, he was getting to the basket quite a bit, getting to the free throw lines, and then they just made shots. I mean, they just kept Marquette at a distance. I thought they were athletic. I think they were the more tougher team. And so we got our hands full with them coming in. He's 6'6". He's really athletic. He's bouncy. He's got a great first step. He can finish with contact. He just got a great feel for the game, and of course, he was highly touted. He's been a pretty good player all along. So he's one of those guys. They're talking about one and done. So he's very, very talented.
How big is it for basketball in general in Arkansas to have a doubleheader with two name opponents, with Arizona State and Indiana coming in? I
think it's great. It's a great day for basketball. At this time of the year, it's early in the year. I think it's a great matchup when you talk about Arkansas, Indiana, and then of course I think the women are playing Arizona State. So you got some teams that are ranked or highly considered, being some of the top teams in the country, and for our fans, I think what better environment than in Bud Walton Arena and having a national audience.
For tempo, just kind of what does Indiana want to play, and what do you do against them as far as that's concerned?
I think if their defense is good, their defense has been really, really good. They take care of the ball, and they've been really pushing it out on turnovers or long rebounds, because you got a guy like Morgan who can actually start the fast break. You got Langford, a kid who can finish in the open floor. So their kids are skilled. But I would imagine mid-tempo. But one of the things I know of any Archie's team, they're going to shoot it and try to go get it. They're going to hang their hats on defense, and they're going to really try to go and get the offensive rebound. So we got to do a good job of finishing defense by rebounding the basketball. But I think the game will get up and down the floor. They're averaging 93 points a game, so they're not holding the basketball. So, and we're not going to hold it either.
He obviously is looking to cut down on the turnovers. Is there something you can do with the way he's spacing him on the floor? Do you just have him look at Phil and say, okay, you should have done this instead of that? Or what do you do to cut down on his turnovers?
I think it's got to be a combination. I think Dan's got to, before the double team comes, he's got to be able to get rid of the basketball, make the right play to the right person. Our guys have got to do a good job of spacing or getting to the open spots. So I think it's a combination of that. But I think, there are times when he's tried to split it and just making the right decision. That's all. Dan's a good enough player that he'll adjust, just backing away from the double team, because he can see over the double team. and then our guys got to be in position to catch it and make teams pay. I think you know, they double, they come at you, you make them pay, then obviously they eventually back out of it.
And it's just the third game of the year, but if you could beat Indiana, that could be a huge win down the line for postseason opportunities, depending on what you do, obviously in the SEC. But so, how big a game could this be for what's going to happen down the line?
Bob, every game's a big game for us. The Texas game was a big game. The California Davis is a big game, and this is the next game on our schedule. It's a big game, and so it's also an opportunity to see where this team is. We had a tough loss early on. We came back and played a game at home, and now you're playing against a really, really very good basketball team in Indiana. It's a big game, and early in the year, it's a big game as we continue to try to develop this team. This team is just going to continue to get better, but the only way they're going to learn is kind of going through the tests that we play, and those are the games that we play each and every time out.
I got off to a really slow start at the free throw line, but then obviously got a lot better in the second half. What is it, a mental thing at the free throw line, or what do you contribute to the slow start? Then obviously Texas, it was a struggle as well.
We missed them. That's what happened. We missed them. There was no secret to it. And then eventually they dialed in. This is a different setting for a lot of guys, different roles. And so a lot of times the nerves get going, because these guys, we work a lot shooting free throws, and those guys do work on it a lot themselves. So it's just a matter of confidence, getting up there and making them.
Mike, it's first time Indiana's there. You guys have had a lot of great teams come in, obviously, but first time Indiana's ever come to Fayetteville. How much does that add to it that it's for all these years and finally Indiana's coming to Fayetteville?
It's a Big Ten team. I think my first year we had Michigan in here, so it's a team out of the Big Ten, and I think from a league standpoint, SEC Big Ten, I think that's. I guess you can look at it from that standpoint, but in terms of all teams are so good nowadays, and of course you got another Power 5 team coming in here, so that's how I look at it, and that's how our team looks at it. You got a team coming in here that's it's no different than when Archie came in here with Dayton. It was a really good basketball team, so our focus is on just trying to get better, and Indiana happened to be the team we're playing.
Even though Texas, the final was disappointing, how much do you think having already played a big team like that, an experienced team, can help you for this game?
No, we'll find out. We'll find out from game to game. This is going to be a game-to-game situation with this team here. But at the same time, we had a chance to play against I think, a pretty good Texas team in a neutral setting. It ain't about the names anymore. Everybody's good. Everybody's good, and we saw that even when Cal Davis came in here. You see it already, displayed in games. If you don't come play with it, any night anything can happen. I just saw a score last night, Michigan and Villanova, rematch of the championship game. It didn't go the other way, and if you don't show up, man, it can. You can take an L real quick.
The game is close to sell out, probably will be sold out. What are you expecting from an atmosphere standpoint?
A great atmosphere. Razorback Nation will show up and show out.
Mike was saying you're going to go to Kansas City for Sydney's induction. Just I know you didn't play with Sydney or coach with him or anything, but what do you think of Sydney, and what do you think about that whole?
I've got a chance to know Sydney since the years I've been here, and we stay in close contact. He's had a chance to come and do a couple of sessions with our players, and he epitomizes what Razorbacks is all about. You're talking about a 6'4", little scrawny guy from Little Rock Hall High School. He climbed a lot of steps when you talk about where he went. All-American, one of the best players in the NBA, and Arkansas is still his home. And so for him to have an opportunity to be selected in the Hall of Fame, I think I'm looking forward to the ceremonies, and just proud of him and what he's accomplished. Obviously, when you think about the triplets, I think those are the guys that really set Arkansas basketball on a plateau that I think hit his state at that level.
Comment on Justice Hill.
Yes. Justice, a young man that 3 years ago pledged to be a part of what we're doing here, and it's hard to believe that now he's a senior in his senior year, and quick, athletic, tough kid. One of those pass guard first, can set other guys up. Defensively, he's can harass on the ball, and he's very athletic for a guy that size. I mean, he gets up, and so just got a level of toughness that fit what we're doing, and so we're excited that Justice finally get a chance to be a part of the family.
You mentioned he's been committed for like 3 years now. I mean, how long has he been on your radar, and how long have you been like aware of him as a player, and what's it like to finally actually have him committed or signed?
Well, he played with a lot of these guys that are on our team right now, but I think through the progression, I think that's the thing that has stood out. I mean, I think different phases of his game has gotten better each and every year. Even from the time he said, "I want to be a part of what you're doing," there's still that evaluation process from our standpoint. So, but he's had an opportunity to play against some of the better players in the country, and I thought there were times where he thrived. So he put himself in a position where he's just a baller, really. You put any kind of ball in his hand, that's the thing about him. You put a football in his hand, he does some remarkable things. Now he got a basketball in his hand. I have to ask Fitz, did he play in baseball too?
Speaking of football, I think he said he had talked to Chad Morris about maybe playing some football. Have you and Chad talked, and how's that? You going to share him? How's that going to work out?
I hadn't talked to him. We hadn't talked.
I guess the UA announced they're going to honor the national championship team. Obviously, you're a big part of that team. What are your thoughts on that, and kind of honoring them, wearing throwback uniforms? And is there any chance of bringing the slobbering hog? I know they're talking about the slobbering hog on like shirts. Is there any talk of bringing the slobbering hog back on the court? How would you feel about that?
Tradition, man. When you think about tradition, what took place back then was some magical times. I think it's great that they get a chance to honor them, and that was part of even in the red-white game when Corey Beck and Elmer Martin. I want to get them back involved and being around it, and but it's hard to believe it's been 25 years. And like I said, the slobbering hog coming back. I'm sure a lot of things will come back, during that time, the celebration. So, the one thing I told our guys, let's make it a special season. Even with a young basketball team, I think we have some great potential. And so, with that being said, having a chance to honor, Coach Richardson and that team, obviously brings back a lot of good memories. And but I'm super excited about having an opportunity to bring those guys back and so the fans can celebrate for 25 years ago. All right.